All right. I am here with Professor Brannon Wheeler, a friend of mine that I met last year, who I shared my contact experience with.
Yep.
And we were at his house, and he organized a pretty interesting gathering of some friends of ours. And Brannon, I'll let you introduce yourself briefly, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for letting me talk, and really thanks for coming today. I mean, you guys are all my friends, and I tell my students I teach at the Naval Academy, and I teach courses on various subjects, but I get sometimes able to teach a course on non-human intelligences or UFOs, teaching a course on mystery religion now, which is really interesting.
Cool.
Um, and I tell them, I talk about my UFO friends, like, what does that mean? I said, well, these are people that I met through studying UFOs and non-human intelligences, and I even tell my wife, like, I never used to have any friends, and now I have lots of friends. So I think it's great. You guys are amazing. It was amazing that everyone was able to come today. I hope we can do more of this. But I learned so much when I talk to you guys.
Thank you.
You're always sharing everything. You connect me with people. I probably met 4 or 5 new people a day who are going to connect me with more people, which is fantastic. And I have this too long of a list of things that I want to write about
Yeah,
and I want to learn about. So
that's great. And your background is in history of
history of
religions.
religion, yeah. And so for a while there, I thought, well, I'm doing something new, right? Because I'm studying UFOs and stuff, and then I realized and maybe it was a synchronicity, maybe it was a revelation of sorts, but I realized that my whole life I've been interested in science fiction, and all my professional work has been studying how people receive messages from non-human intelligences, angels and gods,
Mm,
studying the books and who are the prophets. And I thought, well, this is exactly what I'm studying. I'm studying people who are making contact with non-human intelligence.
yes.
I'm able to actually talk to them. Like, how did the person talk to you? Did they write it on a wall? Did they speak to you? Was it in English?
Yeah.
All of that stuff is so fascinating, and I can't really talk to Muhammad or Moses and ask them questions about that. So a lot of parallels. In fact, I haven't found any contact narratives yet that don't have ancient religious parallels.
Wow. And what do you think that says about all of these phenomena and the nature of reality?
Well, I think there are lots of possibilities, but I have 3 that are easy to articulate. One is
I am a former member of the US Space Economy Interagency Working Group.
Thank you. Are you able to say which agency represented on there?
Not at this time.
Okay. Um, and what brought you into this field? Like, what made you interested in UAPs or NHI?
Well, what's interesting is the way Brannon Wheeler describes UAP and NHI. It's and religion. He kind of explains those things in together in the sense that if when you believe in a God, you're essentially believing in non-human intelligence. So kind of in the same boat at the end of the day.
Okay. And
but that is not what brought me here. To your original, the root of your question, a better understanding of what of our reality, essentially, right? Like we, if there are certain advanced technologies or capabilities, then we need to maybe potentially revisit some of our way of how we approach science and mathematics.
Okay. Do you support the disclosure movement?
Yes.
Why?
Because I think that if it is advanced human technology, who's hoarding it?
Mm.
And what are their intentions?
Yeah.
And what does that mean for the rest of us?
Where would you rank this in terms of importance as an issue for humanity? The disclosure.
I think it's incredibly important because if there is something or a group of people that are hoarding technology and using it to manipulate us and to set us against one another, to scare us, to drive religion, to drive any, like, our belief systems, our fears. It's not okay. So I'm here because I'm very interested in the topics of, UAP and non-human intelligence and consciousness, and how all of these things may be related. And I've been really fortunate to meet a lot of really knowledgeable people, through these different engagements, and having the opportunity to come to gatherings such as the one we're currently attending, with really smart folks who have this common interest, both that I know, and also the opportunity to meet new people, who again have this like shared interest, and really being inquisitive about these bigger questions and how things are all connected,
Yeah.
and what it how it relates to, and what it might mean for us in the day to day.
Yeah. Thank you. So Anna Brady Estevez's work with this working group has really seemed to destigmatize this topic in those circles, in these agencies, in the public and private sector that have been involved. Um, what are your thoughts on getting this information more out to the public? Like, we talk about the disclosure movement, right? Do you see what you all did in that working group as helpful to this wider movement, and how?
I would hope so, because
All right. I am here with my friend Juan, who you all may know from our Old Gods panel. And we are at Brannon Wheeler's house. And I was actually introduced to Brannon by Juan and our other friend Steve. Juan, do you mind saying a bit about why you're here? I think this was all organized for you, right?
I don't know. I showed up to come spend a weekend with Brannon and his wife and have a few other meetings here in DC area. And Brannon said to me that he was going to host a little bit of a get together.
Uh-huh.
And interestingly enough, it's with all the same faces that I already know and or acquaintances that we know. So small
Nice.
world synchronicities. Today's one of them.
It is. What has been the most interesting thing you've heard today that you're able to talk about?
I think the Chris Bledsoe discussion was very interesting to me, and I say that because we all hear and read about Chris Bledsoe. You see the news, you see articles, you see TV shows on experiencers and their experiences, but meeting people firsthand who have known and met and been to these events with Chris, and see they have their own footage of orbs and whatever's in the skies. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a mind-blowing situation.
Are you able to say a bit about any of the other events you're here for in the DC area?
Yes, I can't share names, but there are some people that are very seriously concerned about the future, not just in general, right? Where we're heading from a geopolitical perspective, what's going on globally with the threats and drums of war beating, with these drone incursions around the world. So some of the meetings I am going to have involve discussions that have been ongoing for the last few months, where I was personally asked to draft a letter to propose something to the White House. Okay, and I know for a fact this letter has been hand delivered to the Oval Office and a few other people in the National Security Agency by people in the administration at Mar-a-Lago, and the people that I was
National Security Agency or National Security Council?
National Security Council, sorry. And it includes Secretary of War, includes people in some of these cabinet positions that you see on TV all the time. So this stuff is not public, and it's something I'm volunteering for. No one's paying me to do this. And the people that are working and leading this are much better connected than I am, and I am just assisting in any capacity. How I landed here, how I got stuck with this, I have no idea. I was asked to draft a letter. I drafted the letter. They tweaked it, and then I was informed that it was personally hand delivered to President of the United States and other members of his cabinet.
Cool. Is this connected to the work you're doing with Texas Space?
Not directly, but yes, indirectly.
As you all know, I had an experience that I shared a couple years back in a previous podcast. What you don't know is that there's been many more experiences, one in a fully conscious and awake mode. And my personal experiences raise questions to for me. Mm-hmm. I don't have answers for them. I don't know what they mean. And I am just searching for knowledge, understanding, and answers with more like-minded individuals trying to figure out, in this unacknowledged group of people, because society sees this as something crazy if you tell them, you're seeing things or hearing voices, it doesn't fit with society. So being able to share and have conversations more directly with people that are similar mindset is helpful for me to help understand the bigger picture.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Juan. And we'll save the rest of that story for part 2 of our Old Gods panel series. We can dive in some more there.
Excellent.
Cool. Thanks.